If you want to stop stressing about today's ROAS and just have more confidence in your business, then continue to watch, as I'm gonna go right into the secrets of how each platform actually contributes to lifetime value. Hey, I'm Gabe Wolf, a consumer brands entrepreneur. Today we're gonna cover how your ad spend shouldn't just be to get a return on your investment today, but to get a return on your investment with a customer over the course of 12 months, even maybe 24 or 36 months. The idea is that you're actually using your ad spend to source attention today that converts into a relationship for an entire year or two. These are things that no one tells you when you start a brand. When you start spending on ads, nobody tells you this. You're just left out in the dark. Your job as a marketer is not to buy today's attention to convert it today. You probably don't immediately buy from every single ad that you see on Instagram. Really what you're doing is you're making an impression on somebody. You're having a first date, a first interaction with each user. Ultimately, you want to find users that want to marry you, that want to become a customer with you for a very, very long time. This is what ads are designed to do. This is what the entire digital ecosystem is designed to breed. That's why people fall into these pockets of algorithm where they get into an echo chamber and they see the same type of content over and over and over again. It's because they're saying that they like it. And so all we're doing when we're sending ads to people is using that signal to give them more of what they are telling the system that they like. We are developing campaigns not to convert today's attention into dollars today, but into dollars in the future. Because if we can acquire a customer 7 days, 20 days, 60 days after they see our ads, then we can convert all of those dollars that we spent on acquiring them to become long tail revenue in the future. So instead of thinking of your ad campaigns as I'm gonna put $1 in and get $2 out every single day, think of it more like I'm gonna put in $1 every day for each customer, and then I'm going to get 400 out in 12 months. Because as you do that, and as you do that month after month after month, you get a compounding effect where your revenue does not just stay at $100 per customer, but goes to 120, 150, 200, 400 per customer. And you're actually able to just stack customers over a long period of time. Now, how do you do this across Facebook ads, Google ads, organic? That's exactly what we're gonna talk about right now. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just generate demand for your product at will? Well, luckily, that exists. It's called Facebook ads, and it's a beautiful tool. So in a Facebook ad account, you can get really trapped doing the wrong things. Facebook is designed to amplify your message to people who are likely to buy from you. You need to use a purchase conversion objective if you're selling stuff online. If you need leads, use leads. But if you're selling stuff online, purchase objective only. Now, when we make ad campaigns, we're really just structuring it so that we can gain as much attention and monetize it as quickly as possible. That doesn't mean we kill ads if they don't convert inside of a day, or 2, or 4. What we actually want to do is make sure that we're acquiring more customers each week off platform as we start to put new creative messages into the ether of Facebook ads. This is an account that we've structured. There are about 30 different ad creatives active right. That's only between 2 campaigns. There's not a whole lot of complexity to this structure. What we are doing is we're trying to have the campaign select creative messages that work best for their target audience. The idea here is that Facebook is a really good indicator of who likes what. This is a UGC video that we've done. And you can see here that the spend started rather recently. I think this is actually something that graduated. And we can see that the results are primarily women aged 25 to 44, and the reach is actually heavier on women aged 25 to 34 as opposed to 35 to 44. The idea here is that I don't know if this video is actually better for somebody who's 37 or 23, but Meta does. And there's a distinction here because we're seeing that these people actually interact with it at a higher rate because Meta keeps pushing it there. Although disproportionately, we're getting more purchases relative to ad spend from age 35 to 44. We're also seeing that the results are happening on Facebook and Instagram in pretty much similar comparison. There's not much of a difference there, but the spend is much higher on Instagram than Facebook. So now we're starting to understand our customer a little bit, but only through the lens of this ad creative. Because if I pull up another ad creative, such as this static creative, I'm gonna notice there's a huge difference. All of a sudden, I have 45 to 54-year-old females interacting and buying from this ad. Very different. And the point I'm trying to make here is that every single ad ID has its own targeting and its own audience that it has the best likelihood of converting. And you don't know what that is, and I don't know what that is, and the best media buyer in the world has no fucking clue what ad is the right ad for what pocket of the audience and which platform they're going to digest it on. We all may have an idea, we all may have a hypothesis, but nobody really knows. The point here is that every ad is basically a demand generation engine for its own sub-pocket of your target demographic. You may have a product that appeals to men aged 45 to 54, as well as women aged 25 to 34. You have no idea which ad creative is right for which part of the audience. And so the concept with Facebook ads is you make ads for both and you see where the spend flows. And the spend flow and its machine learning is always going to be more intelligent than you could ever be trying to like direct it at this demographic. So what happens after somebody sees our ad? Do they just see the ad and go to the website, and if they don't buy, that's it? No, they're now in our system. And you've probably seen this yourself. So when you see an ad from a brand, let's say it's Gymshark. We'll go to Gymshark today. So let's say I just saw that ad from Gymshark, and now I've clicked on it, or I liked it, or I spent maybe 3 seconds actually watching the video. I got to like this part of it, where the guy's like pulling it on his collar, and like I'm like, okay, I'm showing some sort of signal to Meta that I like this. It wouldn't be unreasonable for me to then get an organic post from Gymshark's actual Instagram, where I actually start to interact with the organic media and not just the paid media. And all of a sudden, I'm in some sort of echo chamber. I'm starting to get ads from Gymshark across the board, across all their products, not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube. And I'm also getting organic assets from Gymshark, from their influencers, from their affiliates, from anything that could be Gymshark related. All that's happening is I've told Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, yeah, I like this. And so they're just gonna give me more of what I like. And if it's Gymshark and fitness apparel, that's what I'm gonna get. And all of a sudden, my mind share has become more fixated on gym apparel as a result of seeing an ad. This is demand generation. This is getting that first ad impression through a paid experience. And now I've started the inception process of becoming more immersed in that brand, in that culture, in that ecosystem, across the internet, not just through paid ads. This is how you structure campaigns, and this is what digital media is really good at. It's starting the flywheel for your purchase journey in that vertical. Just like Meta, TikTok does the exact same thing for demand generation. However, it does it way more on the spectrum of FOMO, or fear of missing out. When we interact with the For You page algorithm, we are telling TikTok, hey, you know me better than I know me. Why don't you deliver more content that I'm probably likely to enjoy? You will find yourself going down rabbit holes left, right, and center on different topics that you didn't even know you liked, but all of a sudden you're learning about aliens in Egypt and the Anunnaki, speaking from experience. And so what we find on TikTok is we actually get even greater demand generation. However, unlike Meta, it isn't as sophisticated at completing the purchase. Now, that doesn't mean you don't spend money on TikTok. That demand generation is really inexpensive and really effective. We just can't see it in real time or on a 7-day window quite the way we can see it on Meta or Google or even email, where somebody clicks and purchases in the same go. Your main goal with TikTok in advertising is to spark awareness and engagement. If you can do that on TikTok, you will generate thousands and thousands, even millions of impressions, both on organic and ads, that will generate so much demand that it spills off of the platform onto other platforms like Meta and Google. You'll see things like your branded search on Google start to really look incredible. Even if you don't do anything else on Google advertising, people will start to punch in the title of your brand into the Google search box, and they will buy from you. And that is what happens when we start advertising on TikTok. That doesn't mean TikTok is not good for purchases. It doesn't mean TikTok sucks as an advertising platform. If anything, it's where demand gets seeded and generated. And that's a beautiful thing. When somebody gets to your website, you need to capture their email. And you do that through what's called a lead capture. A lead capture makes sure that any traffic that comes to your site and doesn't buy from you in that session can be retargeted without a crazy amount of spend or investment to get their attention again. The way we do this today is through email and text messaging. So what we want to make sure is that we have a lead capture that is juicy and sexy enough and submit their email to you as a business. Klaviyo is a tool that we are a partner with, and it is fantastic. In Klaviyo, you can go to different sign-up forms. I'll pull this one up because it's got the most. And you'll be able to see what the submit rate is across the board. You'll be able to understand how many people are coming to the site versus how many people are actually leaving you their email. And what happens is as you start to do this, your list grows. And when your list grows, your accessibility to command attention increases. So when I grow an email list for a business, I am actually growing its audience penetration. I'm able to capture more attention through a few clicks of a button and a design in the form of an email and bring them back to my site or bring them back to my store to shop. Never ever has there been such simplicity in maximizing attention than entering somebody's inbox where they are very likely to read and interact with you. The only thing that has usurped that is text message marketing, which I can make 4 different videos about because it's the best and worst thing that's ever happened. So for the purposes of this, we just want to make sure that we're capturing the right attention, that we're getting enough people who come to our website to give us some form of information if they're not ready to buy today. From there, we have a web of automation set up based on what users are doing on our website that trigger certain messages to them. These are called flows. Now, the standard flows that you need are a welcome flow, an abandoned cart flow, a view product flow, and a post-purchase flow. When you get into the next few levels of email marketing, you're going to include variations of all 4 of them, plus educational flows dependent on certain parts of your catalog and benefits, as well as sunsetting engaged, loyal customer flows, subscription flows, the list goes on and on. For this account, I think we have about 15 or 16 active flows. Now, you may think to yourself, wow, that's a lot of emails, and they are. The idea here is that they are all set up on something called Smart Send so that a user doesn't get more than 1 email from your brand in a 12, 16, or 24-hour block, whatever you set it to, so that they only get 1 message from you, and those messages are pretty clear. They're not getting an entire inbox of you spamming them every day, because guess what they're gonna do? That's right, they're gonna unsubscribe. And that's gonna make you very sad because you just paid to get them to your site and you got their email and then they ditched you. What ends up happening as you layer in all these flows and you start to send campaigns, and we do send campaigns, we send 3 to 5 campaigns a week for this client, as well as all of our other clients, you get a really beautiful revenue figure. Now, it's very important to not get seduced by these numbers. Revenue from email always looks high. It's because it's the last touch point before someone buys, and it's the majority of the touch points right before somebody buys. How they got to you in the first place, the impressions they got on organic and ads, the final closing marks that they had before getting to your website, and the website experience that they had with you, all precede an email click to purchase. And so you cannot discount everything else in the journey just because email looks really good. Email's supposed to look really good. Branded search is supposed to look really good. You generated demand somewhere else, and then the user has come to you with a ton of intent to buy from you. You just putting an email or a branded search link in front of them before they're ready to buy does not mean that you created a purchase or you created demand through that. If you have a consumable business, you should be focusing your email on getting people to subscribe. Explain why life is so great with a recurring delivery of your product. If you have a durable business, such as apparel, you want to use email to announce and build hype around new releases. because nobody wants to get the same t-shirt in the mail from grandma every single Christmas. They want the next new thing. And that's what you use email for, to continue to extend lifetime value. Our final stop on the ad tour, Google. Google is your closer. Google is your sweeper. Google is typically the end destination for a lot of your ad journey because it's where intent lives. When you go into Google through a Chrome tab or through your phone, or you say, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google, what is X?" What's happening is Google says, "Oh, yeah, you're in market for this product. You're interested in this brand. I know you are interested in this brand because I've been showing you display ads everywhere for the past 2 weeks. Here you go." So what you're seeing here is a typical Google search. We're gonna keep it with Gymshark in lieu of the theme. And we see a sponsored shopping tile where we have multiple different products from Gymshark, a sponsored link that Gymshark is paying for, and then the first organic link. If I click on this link and I buy in this session, branded search is going to score points and is going to look like it has the biggest return on investment possible. The question you need to ask yourself as an operator for your business: did the person who came to Google and punch in Gymshark, did that ad that they clicked on really deserve all the credit? Or did everything I did before they got to this little search box matter more? Google is there to narrow the field for users when they are ready to have a shopping experience with your business. Google's objective is to make sure that when a user gets to the search box, they find what they needed and get off the platform as fast as possible. It is the complete opposite of Facebook and TikTok, where they want to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. So when you punch in the name of a brand and you get the entire Google real estate is surrounded with both sponsored and organic links for that brand, like you're seeing right here. What's happening is Google saying, hey, the longer they spend on my search box probably means the worse a job I am doing as a search engine for what they're trying to look for. Because if they are spending a lot of time here, it means that I haven't made the end destination super apparent for them. And so what we want to make sure is that Google does its job, but not more. Because if Google is doing more and it's not intended to through other campaigns such as like demand generation or YouTube or Performance Max, then Google is overspending relative to its return. And this is the problem with a lot of Google advertisers, is they'll pump up lots of different campaigns, but ultimately all of them are doing the same thing, which is branded search. Any campaign that's not branded search should have exclusions and negative keywords for your brand. Because if it doesn't, then all it's doing is taking credit for more branded search. And that's not a bad thing. We want branded search. We just don't want to spend extra on demand generation when it's really just sweeping already existing intent from other platforms. What we want to do for a Google account is make sure we have branded search, but then have Performance Max campaigns and shopping campaigns and non-branded search campaigns and demand gen campaigns that all feed more demand from the Google ecosystem of YouTube and display network and search and get them to our brand. And even if the return on ad spend doesn't look great on the platform, we know that the return on investment over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, is ROI positive because we've actually seeded more demand than we had before, and branded search is just doing its job of closing users without spilling into every single campaign we have. Brand perception translates into revenue, and as we continue to acquire new customers, it is vital to focus on how much each one spends with you. The point of each ad campaign is not to create ROAS. The point of each ad campaign is to take attention and bring it to your site where your site can complete the brand perception you're trying to go for. Are we trying to get people to buy today? Car companies are trying to get people to buy in 9 months, and they have to serve thousands of impressions to make sure that a user feels comfortable spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a vehicle. These are long journeys and they change, and it's different for every person. Your goal as an advertiser, a brand operator, a CMO, is never to get same-day ROAS as high as possible. It will fluctuate. The algorithms will change, but your brand and your brand message needs to be adaptable to any of these platforms so that when a user comes through and actually has a meaningful experience with you, They want to give you money. That is the goal here. It's to gain attention so that when you get somebody to your website, your shop gets out of the way and allows them to spend with you freely. That's it for today's video. It's been a pleasure. If you liked it, please smash the like and subscribe button. Otherwise, I will see you in the next.